So for my how-to video for teaching math, I wanted to do missing addends. I remember liking to do those when I was in school, and I did it for my math board for math night and used fun manipulatives. It's something that you can do for a little brain teaser to get kids going. This can be a math center, obviously it can be a lesson as well, and you can use fun manipulatives to stick with your theme. So before I go into what we're going to do here, I do want to mention that we are going to go over the second grade standard for the second grade standard, which is representing and solving problems involving addition and subtraction. These missing addends are both subtracting and addition. The numbers don't go higher than 20 for these cards, but you can obviously do that with your more advanced students who are showing more fluency with, in math. The standard is 2.0A.A1, where you add and subtract within 100 to solve one and two-step contextual problems with unknowns in all positions. So a lot of these addends, missing addends, have the unknowns, whether it's the sum or an actual add-in. It's involving situations of add to, take from, put together, take apart, and compare. Use objects and drawings and equations with a symbol for the unknown number to represent the problem. Okay, so I went on Teacher Pay Teacher for these cute little pencils to for my how-to, and there's about 50 different equations that a student or students can do. And so what I suggest doing is cutting them out, laminating them, and having them use their own paper and maybe work with partners. First, I would always have students work on their own to figure out the problem. So we can obviously take this simple how-to, 4 plus 5. I'll move some of these out of the way. And the sum is missing. So I would ask the student, what is 4 plus 5? So I would take 4 pencils, and I also have crayons. If you're a teacher and manipulatives are limited, you can use either or. It sticks with a theme. I think it's important to stick with themes. It makes it more fun for the student. But when you're introducing addends, you want to start with something that's going to get them familiar with how to work the problem. And so you want to use different colors to represent an add-in. So here's a 4. So here are 4 blue pencils. Now, I want to see what 4 plus 5 is. So I'm going to take these yellow pencils and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I would have the student count all of them by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I would have them record their answer on their paper. The next thing that I would have a student try would be a subtraction. So I also teach students how to do missing addends using subtraction. So I have my 5 pencils to represent this add-in, and then to find the missing add-in that equals the sum of 2. Okay? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pencils. I would suggest that the student count until they have 2 pencils left, and that would give them the missing add-in. So 1, 2, 3. they have 2 pencils left, which represents this number here. And so they could say 3 is the missing add-in for this equation. So additionally, I would also introduce the addition missing add-in. So this equation is, earlier we did an addition, but the missing add-in was the sum. So we want to do an addition missing add-in where there is an actual add-in missing. So we would take 3 pencils, pink here, to represent this number here. And I would suggest that the students count until they get to the number 7 using a different color so that they could easily identify the missing add-in, or each missing add-in. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then I would ask each student to tell me what that is total. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is a total of 4. Thank you. Okay, so the last example I'm going to show is the 6 plus 6 equals missing sum. So I have 6 yellow pencils to represent this add-in, and I have 6 blue pencils to represent this add-in. So I would have the students count. I would have the students count all 6 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That would give them the answer to this number here, to the sum. I realize that, you know, as you teach students, you know, lower numbers to complete in an equation, they'll become more fluent. And I think this exercise, this is a great math center. It's a great way to get the students thinking critically on more than one way of completing an equation, even when there's missing information. So sometimes you may have higher numbers, so this amount of manipulatives may not work, so you may have to get a little bit more creative and use something else. But it is critical to, in the beginning, use matching colors to represent an add-in. It does help the students identify and correlate with each number. So this is something that meets the 2nd grade standard. It's fun. It's something that can go with themes and seasons and holidays, and students really can get into learning missing add-ins. So thank you.